LeBron, he said it. boy, he did. All right, let's go.
I'm glad someone said it because
Mm-hmm.
let's hope he doesn't take it back because he retracts things sometimes. When he gets too much
Yeah,
pressure, sometimes he retracts statements.
yeah. All right. And shout out to sharing this on Twitter to Chuck Modi, friend to RBN.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm not even gonna read it. We're just gonna hear it out and just gonna listen to what LeBron said. Ready, Sabs?
I'm ready.
All right. In the words of Celebrity Deathmatch, let's get it on.
I was wondering why I haven't gotten a question from you guys about the Jerry Jones photo. But when the Kyrie thing was going on, you guys were quick to ask us questions about that.
Okay.
Hold on. And I don't even want you guys to say nothing. When I watched Kyrie talk and he says, I know who I am, but I want to keep the same energy when we're talking about my people and the things that we've been through. And that Jerry Jones photo is one of those moments that our people, Black people, have been through in America. And I feel like as a Black man, as a Black athlete, as someone with power and a platform, when we do something wrong or something that people don't agree with, it's on every single tabloid, every single news coverage. It's on the bottom ticker. It's asked about every single day. But it seems like to me that the whole Jerry Jones situation photo, and I know it was years and years ago and we all make mistakes, I get it. But it seemed like it's just been buried under like, oh, it happened. Okay, we just move on. And I was just kind of disappointed that I haven't received that question from you guys. Appreciate it.
I think Rome. Do you want to come on?
Yeah.
Oh no, what happened?
Hey, I'm sorry. I was just texting y'all something.
Roman,
Man, this is y'all know I always bum rush these segments from time to time. I love the Sabi JB show. It's more laid back than RBN yelling at us all fucking day. But I don't want to interrupt. I want to hear what he had to say because I heard it earlier. But this is our job. Let's hear him out and then I'll talk my shit because I do appreciate what he's saying, but I still got some pushback for that man overall. It's like.
Mm-hmm. So, what are your thoughts? We're going to start with ladies first, Sabby. What are your thoughts on what LeBron said?
I appreciate what he said. That being said, I hope he doesn't take it back because LeBron has been known to do this before. He'll speak out against a social issue and then he'll get pressure from the media and then he'll backtrack and send out an apology. So I hope he doesn't do that. And for people who may be wondering, well, why would they ask LeBron that question? He's a basketball player. Jerry Jones owns a football team. Then you don't really know a lot about LeBron. LeBron was a Cowboys fan. And so he's even come out and said that he no longer supports the Dallas Cowboys. Like, this is a big deal. So I think that people are making the connection there. So I think he has a point. He's spot on. Like I said, like, why are they asking everybody about Kyrie, but they're not asking people about Jerry Jones? One is a player and one is Black and one is an owner who happens to be white. And you see the power dynamic, you see the structure there. And again, like I told you, they know who they can go after and who they can't really go after. And that's why even the media coverage of this story has been kind of soft.
Okay. And Rome, you were speaking about, some pushback that you would have even for LeBron James. Can you expound on what that pushback would be and some of the things that you agree with and some of the things you may have disagreed with?
You talking to me or Sammy?
You, Rome. I'm sorry.
Oh, he a fucking billionaire. He's not serious about an actual fight because he will be, in the middle of the mayhem. He have stuff to actually lose and whatnot. And this is just his little get back from people putting him on the spot, I should say, because when it actually comes time for LeBron James to fight, like we saw with the NBA strike, he backed out. When we saw all of these things, when the people that's more powerful than him tell him to shut the fuck up, he do exactly what he is told. And this is why I have a problem with LeBron James as a man and as a leader, as a powerful black man in today's age. But yeah, this had to be said about, they're asking me questions about this. And then what is the other dude name that stole all the money from Mississippi?
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
They're not asking any questions about that anymore. But it's all projection to keep their keep the eyes of the proletarian off of their favorite people and put it on, the niggas that fuck up. We all fuck up, they all fuck up. None of these people are, geniuses. Some of these people are straight out of high school, sophomores, college. They are athletes. What are you expecting to learn from them? But at the end of the day, if you are going to speak up, really believe in something. What I respect about Kyrie is, even if he's a flat earther, which is fucking idiotic, he still believe in what he's, what he say. He stand for it and he don't back down. But here's LeBron James flipping, flopping, and we don't know whose side he's actually on. He can't be trusted overall because if the people was to come after him and say, "What you mean, motherfucker?" Then he can be like, "Well, I was only saying this." And he gonna throw his hands up, and we're gonna forget all about it because they're not gonna talk about it anymore.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking, there's a few people that are in our community that have spoken out and condemned Kyrie, but I have yet to hear them say anything about Jerry Jones. For instance, where's Shaquille O'Neal? Charles Barkley? What about white players? What about former white players? Anybody from Fox Sports, ESPN, CBS Sports? Anybody from ABC Sports? Anybody that want to say something, that want to condemn him?
Charles Barkley and Shaq is the biggest coons. And no pun intended. They might be big as hell, but every time there's disasters, they always come, well, we can do something better. We can always work around and try to get along with your oppressors type shit. Charles Barkley for sure. So I don't they only got here where they at from listening to the man. But literally, your job is to listen to what the man tell you to do and shut up when I tell you to shut up.
Well, my question is, where's Troy Aikman? Where is oh my God, he used to play for he was the quarterback for the Dolphins. Oh my God.
Dan Marino.
Where's Dan Marino? Right? Where are these guys who are superstars that are up there, right? And that were in the NFL that are retired? Where are they? Tony Romo. What happened to him? Just Austin Mahomes. Where you at, bro?
They feel the same way.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, wait a minute. This comes out, like Kyrie Irving does one thing. A bunch of people come out, including black people. They're like, "Oh, Kyrie Irving, you shouldn't have did that." But then Jerry Jones, you find out that he's basically a segregationist. Is like, maybe we should, give him a pass because that was 60 years ago, and I think that we think he's sorry.
And then the thing is, we don't even know for sure if he, really washed away his racism or he actually learned from being a racist teenager or adult. He literally have niggas on the field playing for. I mean, I just can't get the jokes write themselves. The jokes write themselves, and for him to get into a business to have a whole bunch of strong black men on the field working for him, that's just I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking about it too much.
No, I mean, it is pretty hip.
Like I was saying, like anytime his teammates wanted to, or not his teammates, excuse me, anytime his players wanted to stand up against police brutality,
I was wondering why
he was against that. He said,
yeah.
no, you can't
No
do that.
kneeling.
No, I mean, this is crazy. You mean to tell me Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay Packers, they can kneel? They can link arms? But the Dallas Cowboy players can't kneel or link arms?
Apparently not, because he doesn't want them to show any solidarity for black people who are being brutalized daily by the same goons who he gives money to.
It's about our military. They disrespecting our military men and women. They disrespecting our.
Like, ain't nobody even. No, that's not what this shit about. Y'all know what it's about, but they gotta deflect. They have to deflect in order to justify their hatred.
Mm-hmm.
But Soul said no NFL or NBA without black athletes, and that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But as you know, LeBron, he did back down on the NBA strike, but he also backed down on his policing stance too. He got pressure about that, and he backed down on that. So,
look, this is why Malcolm X said what he said about entertainers and athletes. He said that entertainers and athletes aren't real leaders, because if they were, then they would have taken more stronger stances. Maybe back in the day, they would, our entertainers and athletes were more of leaders back then, but now they're paid not to be. You're not going to have another Muhammad Ali. You're not going to have another Aretha Franklin. You're not going to have any of these people who are entertainers and athletes that actually are also fighting for their liberation as well as the liberation of their people.
mm-hmm.
So that's what I observed, especially from the athletes. And a lot of times, and people go, well, Michael Jordan is one of the GOATs. And it's like, yeah, but he he stayed out of it too.
Michael Jordan
he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say he was notorious for not getting involved in those issues. He would not speak on it. Now, as he got older, when he retired, he did say that he didn't think that was a good idea looking back on it, that he probably should have been more vocal. But when Michael Jordan played, he didn't get involved in those issues at all.
Mm-hmm.
I want to shout out Ryan. Ryan, thanks for the super chat. Green Bay is also owned by the public. Goes to show that capitalism is evil by design. And Rick says that too. Packers are actually community owned. Wow.
That's good. I actually like that. So I think there's a couple of super chat that I wanted to get. Oh, Tiberius says, Kyrie got 6 demands. When is Jerry Jones getting his 6 demands? Jerry got to repent and get his too. Hashtag give Gary his 6. Thing is that Jerry knows better more than Kyrie. Jerry Jones is older, so he should know better more. And yet people are more willing to give him a pass instead of Kyrie. Wow. So, trying to see what else did I have?
The other point I want to point out to people too is that Jerry Jones did not apologize. I just want to make that very clear. He didn't come out and say, yeah, I apologize for my behavior or anything like that. He just said, yeah, that was me. I remember just showing up, being curious, trying to figure out what was going on. He didn't apologize for anything.
Mm-hmm. So let me get here.
Carries my ass. All them motherfuckers know what they was. He know what the fuck he was there for. He was there to harm some people, like they did.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, hang on. Ugh. Stop sharing. I had this. Share it, JB.
He know y'all not gonna do anything. He know the people not gonna do anything. The establishment not gonna do anything. The NFL not gonna do anything. Nobody is gonna punish this man. Nobody has the balls to do it. So he like, why should I have to apologize for being who I am?
All right. So people were trying to describe Kyrie Irving as anti-Semitic, and this is one of the first interviews that came about after he was charged by the public with being anti-Semitic.
I sort of wanted to hear the word "I apologize," or in your mind, you said I didn't mean to cause any harm. Were you apologizing, or did you not?
I didn't mean to cause any harm. I'm not the one that made the documentary.
What are the specific things in the documentary that you don't believe are true and that you don't believe represent your own laws?
I think some of the criticism of the Jewish faith in the community, for sure. Some points made in there that were unfortunate.
I sort of wanted to hear the word "I apologize," or.
So he didn't apologize at first, and for sharing a link to a documentary. And some say that the documentary was anti-Semitic. Some said that they didn't think it was. But either way, Kyrie did end up apologizing. And they had all these different asks of him in order to make up for what he did, and he apologized to the Jewish communities on Instagram.
Right. But the thing is too is why aren't there microphones and cameras in front of Jerry Jones' face? Why aren't there microphone and cameras in front of Jeff Bezos' face? Because that documentary is on Amazon. So why is all the pressure and the heat going at Kyrie? He didn't make the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't, and I haven't even seen the documentary. And most people I talk to have not seen it.
Shit, the people that's complaining about it more likely than see it, just like the people that complain about our shows don't watch it.
Right. I mean, it's still on Amazon. So what? Do you see what I mean? Like the big problem.
Mm-hmm.
I have this. I want to show this though, JB, because Don Lemon talked about this.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
A couple hours ago, where he was talking about LeBron James' response.
Time it is. It's time for Sports in the Morning. LeBron James calling out reporters, NBA superstar, saying that there is a double standard when it comes to how the media covered the controversy surrounding Kyrie Irving's tweet supporting a documentary deemed to be anti-Semitic, and the way the media covered the photo that has emerged of Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones among the crowd of white students attempting to block black students from entering the doors of North Little Rock High School. This is in 1957. Listen to this.
I got one question for you guys before you guys leave. I was thinking when I was on my way over here, I was wondering why I haven't gotten a question from you guys about the Jerry Jones photo. But when the Kyrie thing was going on, you guys were quick to ask us questions about that.
Okay.
Hold on. Why did I say nothing? When I watched Kyrie talk and he says, I know who I am, but I want to keep the same energy when we're talking about my people and the things we've been through. And that Jerry Jones photo is one of those moments that our people, Black people, have been through in America. And I feel like as a Black man, as a Black athlete, as someone with power and a platform, when we do something wrong or something that people don't agree with, it's on every single tabloid, every single news coverage. It's on the bottom ticker. It's asked about every single day. But it seems like to me that the whole Jerry Jones situation photo, and I know it was years and years ago and we all make mistakes, I get it. But it seemed like it's just been buried under like, oh, it happened. Okay, we just move on. And I was just kind of disappointed that I haven't received that question from you guys.
Wow, very powerful. There he is, Coy Wires, here to weigh in on this. Coy, listen, does he have a point? He's saying there's a double standard. What do you think?
Well, Don, I think it's clear that LeBron feels that Jerry Jones perhaps didn't receive the level of criticism or wasn't as held as accountable as perhaps he should have been. But I also want to, it's important to note, Don, that LeBron James is not condoning what Kyrie Irving did. He himself said that I hope Kyrie Irving understands the hurt that he caused to a lot of people. But his decision, and LeBron bringing up this topic unprovoked in the middle of a press conference, it's a microcosm of the hurt that many Black athletes feel. That it's long been the case that many Black athletes, teammates of mine, I know I can say that they believe that sometimes they don't receive the same, they receive a higher level of criticism and harshness than perhaps their white counterparts do. I do want to throw a soundbite here, Don, to Jerry Jones when he was asked about this photo that came up. Here's what Jerry Jones had to say.
That was, 65 years ago, and a curious kid. I didn't know at the time the monumental event, really, that was going on, and I'm sure glad that we're a long way from that.
Now, Don, I do also want to point out that this is not the first time that LeBron has mentioned the Cowboys in recent, just last month, actually, on a podcast. He said that, LeBron, who was a longtime Dallas Cowboys fan, he said that he stopped being a Cowboys fan back during the time when players were kneeling, when Colin Kaepernick was kneeling. And LeBron said that people in the front office of the Cowboys organization were saying that any players who would do that would no longer be part of the organization. Of course, Jerry Jones said that his players would have to toe the line. He has since softened his stance in regard to that, Jerry Jones has, but it's clear that LeBron did not sit well with him feeling Jerry Jones not receiving the same level of criticism, maybe not being held as accountable as he should have. Kyrie Irving, he was penalized 5 games penalty without pay. He was dropped by Nike. And so you can see that's his former teammate. This is not sitting well with him, especially when these reporters are in front of him every day. And they had the opportunity to ask LeBron about it when they did not.
But let's keep it real. What? Like Michael Vick, we can keep it simple. We can keep it in today's group, right? Michael Vick got way more press coverage, way more bad media coverage than Brett Favre did. Now, I'm not saying it's okay or I condone him abusing animals, but what's worse? Stealing from some of the poorest people in the goddamn country or fighting some fucking animals. And this is the comparisons that we are showing you that Black athletes or Black people get pointed at. And what the media is telling us, it's okay to be anti-Black. It's okay to be anti-Black, but you better not be anti-white. You better not be anti-Sin. You better not be anti-us. But you can apologize for being white and racist. Like, even as a kid, we all knew that racism was a bad thing. Even if we grew up in racist homes, prejudiced homes, we always knew, okay, you shouldn't think like that. Or this is a bad way of thinking, it's hateful, right? As a child. And if you are old enough to walk on your own, to go to some school to block Black people from getting education, I think you know what the fuck you are doing. I think you know exactly what the fuck you are doing. And they always, oh, well, that was a long time ago, and I didn't really know what was going on. You didn't know what was going on, so you didn't see all the shit on the news at the time. You didn't see all the black people marching. You didn't see the people dying, being hung. That wasn't happening in your lifetime. It's happening in my lifetime, so I'm pretty sure you've seen it in your lifetime. But they put out all these excuses for these people. Oh, well, he was so young. He was so young. He was so dumb. Yeah, fucking right. But let my black ass would have gone ahead and blocked some black people at that age. Block some white people. Block some white people from getting an education. They'd treat me as sentence me as an adult from 12 years and up. But these motherfuckers be 16, 17. He was just a kid. I had 3 jobs at 17. And that's exactly what we are talking about. Not only in the media, not only in these sports, in real life. Dude, I done went to jail. I remember being in fucking court. And this white boy, 3rd time getting caught with meth. He had damn near half a pound of fucking weed on him this time he got caught. They let him back out. You know what they did to me? They locked me up for 30 days for driving without a fucking license. Same judge, same hour. So fuck them. These people trying to act like I didn't know I didn't know there was a racist thing going on. I just I thought all the black people hanging from trees was decorations.
Mm-hmm. What people have to understand is that for black kids, by the time they're 12 years old, they're treated as an adult and they're seen as an adult. And they're not given the same amount of sympathy or empathy as a white child of the same age. They're not given that. Rome mentioned Michael Vick. When Michael Vick was, basically caught for dog fighting, nobody sat back or took a step back and asked, well, let's look at the environment that he grew up in. Let's look about where he comes from. Let's look into that. Nobody said that because they didn't care, because it didn't matter. All they saw is he was a black man who was participating in dog fighting. They were like, no, he got to go. We got to get rid of him. Ruined his career after that. But here it is with Jerry Jones, and it's like, oh, we got to think about the time period and the community. If you read the full article, let's talk about the community he grew up in and the environment. You got to explore the environment. You got to explore their upbringing. But when it's a black kid or a black man, nobody is trying to ask about their environment. And if people would have actually looked into that, what they would have known is that in the environment that Michael Vick came from, that was not unusual.
I saw dog fighting every day on multiple corners of my hood. It's still going on, actually.
Yeah. The double standard happens so much that it's even tragic. Tamir Rice was 12 years old when the police shot and killed him. They arrived, and then within seconds, they shot and killed Tamir Rice, who's 12. On the radio, they said that it was a 12-year-old. I'm sorry, they said that it was a man. They said that Tamir Rice was a man. And if you look at the pictures of Tamir Rice and you look at him, you go, there's nowhere near a man. That is a little boy. He was playing in the park. Mm-hmm. And because he was playing in the park, when it comes to those of us who are black, we are always aged up every single time. I had to have to talk with my nephew when he was 13. And the only reason why I didn't have to talk any earlier, because he lived a little bit of far as a ways, and I couldn't sit him down and talk to him. Otherwise, I would have had to talk with him at 10. But the thing is that people don't realize is that because of white supremacy, our innocence is taken away. It is gone. You are no longer seen as such. Jerry Jones, literally at the old age he is literally getting to keep his innocence.
Yep.
He got to keep his innocence as an old man, yet Kyrie Irving is, oh no, he's wrong. We gotta throw the book at him. Think about it. Think about it. Standing against a bunch of black students during the civil rights era in 1957, blocking them from getting into school, from blocking segregation from happening in their schools, versus a black man sharing a link in a tweet. Juxtapose those two together. One, maybe triple the age of the black man, and he gets to keep his innocence, even though he did something worse than Kyrie Irving.
And just because he hired black people don't mean that he's not racist. See, it's a difference between different races. You know what I'm saying?
What the hell do you think slave masters are?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, there's a difference. It's a difference of black people who say, oh, you should go back to Africa. We want all these motherfuckers out of here. And other races like, hold on. Imagine basketball and football with just white man. Holy fuck, no. We can't ship the black people out. We need black people. Think about black people. Think about America without black people. The prison industrial complex will fall. The entertainment industries will fall. Gaming, all of this, it will all fall. We are literally the backbone of it all. Even though they will put a fucking white face or a bright face in front of it, black people have been carrying the fucking torch for generations now. We have been building this shit with no credit due to us. And this is the racist that Jerry is. He's like, okay, well, I can make an empire off these niggas. Instead of shipping them out, instead of killing them. I mean, fix them up, get them off the streets, give them a couple of dollars. And they're gonna work for me. They're gonna risk their body, their life. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna risk getting CTEs and everything for me on my field, just like my grandfather imagined.
Mm-hmm. I want to make sure I grab this. Jay the Informant, thanks for the super chat. Dick Gregory also spoke out against entertainers. And thanks for the super chat. Keol Jones, is Don Lemon turning into Urkel?
Man. Yeah, I take off for them white.
And thank you for the super chat, Jay the Informant. Did y'all catch Joe Biden in the pic background?
Yo, no, it's be so subliminal. See, I didn't even catch that.
No, I didn't catch it, but I don't look for corn pops in the background. Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Fuck the media, man. Everybody is bad. Like even on a lower level, even RBN, man. RBN, if we even the little demons that we went through our past or certain members, whatnot, we still get hold to higher standards to people. Some people get fired for sexual harassment, and they still have a platform on the left. And you can't ask a person who, you know what I'm saying? You can't ask a motherfucker who a motherfucker from RBN hurt, but some of these motherfuckers is still here. And it's crazy how black people are just treated differently. We really are. And you think, am I lying? Some of these motherfuckers really get sexual harassment cases on them. They have been fired because they sexually harassed somebody. But somehow they still have a platform. I wonder why. I wonder how. Let me do some shit like that. My life will be over. There isn't no, oh, well, he fed thousands of people. He traveled the country and helped, and he's put the word of, no, none of that. It's over. My career gone. Everything I worked for, gone.
Yeah.
Right.
I just want to share this. I'm sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it was really frustrating to me to see mainstream media not really cover the Brett Favre story like this. Like I covered it, I think maybe 3 times. And it was really weird to me that they didn't harp on this very long. Like even First Take, even on ESPN, they mentioned it, but they didn't stay on it the way they stayed on the Kyrie situation. And they should have. Here you have someone who's a freaking millionaire and he stole money from poor people. At the same time, Jackson, Mississippi has dirty water. So people are obviously struggling there. And it just, the way that they just talked about that story one day and then just left it the next day says a lot.
I was like, we ain't making no money off this shit. It ain't getting enough views. Let's hop on to the next shit. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Why aren't we talking more about Brett Favre? Like we brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I remember correctly, you and I, Sabby, we had on Chuck Modi to talk about it.
We talked about it. I talked about it on my channel twice. And I think Nick and CJ might have talked about it too. So all together, I think we covered at least like 4 times.
Yeah. That being said, why isn't that headlining on the news and being talked about?
Because nobody give a fuck about y'all black ass in the South. Who give a fuck about black people in the South? Dude, the only reason why Mike Vick got more pushback is because they give a fuck about dogs more than they give a fuck about black people. That's the truth. If it was black people that he was harming, if he had a fucking some type of underground street fighting shit, nobody would give a fuck. But since it was dogs, they felt it in their heart. And all these people, they tell you themselves, all love animals more than I love humans. And that should tell you more than what you need to know.
I'm gonna put something out there too, and this might get a little spicy, but it is what it is. I'd argue that R. Kelly would be spending his 20th year in prison if all the girls that he did things with were white.
Man.